Oh, right, guys, we are going to be reacting here to the UK unrest boiling over into civil war. The UK? Dang, I know a lot of things going on over there, but we just gonna see here. A lot of things going in, a lot of things going on in Twitter, formerly Twitter, now X. So we're gonna see what's happening here.
The United Kingdom has reached a boiling point, and the situation is so dire that rumblings of civil war are being heard. Here are but a few examples of what's being said.
The people will feel they have no option other than to take action into their own hands rather than rely on political leaders who are doing nothing in their eyes. So yeah, I think there's every likelihood. I don't know what the time frame is, but I would go far as to predict not just civil unrest, but civil war in the UK.
The UK is falling apart. You don't need a think tank to tell you that, but that's exactly what a think tank has discovered. Whether you're supporting Palestine or the right to fly a flag, Britain is on the brink of explosion.
The last 3 or so months at least, the main topic that's dominated the UK discourse, get ready to drink chat, civil war. Now, we don't talk like this in our country. It's not a thing that we've really spoken about since, the 17th century.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, this is like, because this is a different kind of civil war. If transformed to that point, this is more. Let's just see what he's saying.
The Brits are quite shy and polite and reserved.
What level do you think this is at this point?
It's at a very severe level. And I believe unless there's change in the next few years, it could become irreversible.
Damn.
We've got a major problem with mass immigration. We've got a major problem with deindustrialization, with stagnation, so people's incomes aren't going up. They're seeing their towns and villages change, their cities change.
Sad.
Things are getting worse, but we have a very powerful status quo, a very powerful establishment that doesn't want the radical change that our country needs.
Tim Dieppe, head of public policy at Christian Concern, joins us now from London. Tim, paint us a picture of what's happening in the UK.
Well, there's been a lot of concern about mass immigration, huge numbers of immigration from other countries coming to the UK, particularly illegal immigration. This is people coming in on small boats over the channel from France. There's been 50,000 people in the last 12 months that have come into the country that way. No real checks on who they are and what they're doing and where they're from, and often without any papers, all this kind of stuff. And then what's really annoyed people is that they're being put up in hotels for free, with free food and free expense money and free healthcare and dental care and all of these other things, and causing social problems. And there are stories of increased crime levels. Obviously, huge. The vast majority of these immigrants are men, and they're coming into the towns.
And this is not only this is not only in UK. This is mostly around the Western world. And I knew for a fact. I was expecting the United States get into civil war. We were very close, and we still are, guys. We're like a sort of like a cold civil war right now in the United States, where there's there's one side of the equation that wants too many immigrants, and some state or cities don't even want to arrest them, and then they're in power. Some of these people commit crime. They don't want to arrest them. They only arrest you if you're a certain color, like if you're European or you're well-rounded. They put you right in prison. Like, that's why Trump went to DC to just take over, because they were not doing anything. And the same thing happened with Chicago, a lot of these big cities. So I'm not surprised. The case of the UK was bad, but I think this is something that was just a matter of time. I don't understand why these people thought that they were just going to simply just, ride this boat with no consequences. The government, you have to be inept.
And they've not got anything to do, and they're getting illegal jobs. But then there are also allegations of rapes and sexual assaults and all of this kind of thing around these hotels, as well as, we've now become, I think, the phone stealing capital of Europe, more than any other country in the world, and various other crimes as well. And so it has reached a kind of boiling point about these hotels. People feel very angry, like, why are these, I work hard to provide for my children and my family and my wife and all this. And these migrants just come in here illegally, and they get put up in a nice hotel. They get free food, they get free healthcare, they get free whatever, and they can just do whatever they want. And surely this is not fair. And what really brought it to a head is a particular hotel in a place called Epping, here in the outskirts of North London. And there's a hotel there, and there has been alleged sexual assault by one of the residents at this hotel, which is full of illegal immigrants.
Wow.
And the local council has complained that this is disrupting the local community, has complained to the government, so we don't think this is a suitable place for you to be housing these immigrants. And the government said, well, don't care, you still got to do it. And then there were protests outside the hotel because of this alleged sexual assault that happened. And then there was a legal case brought against the government by the local council saying, you should not be housing these illegal immigrants in this hotel. They won initially in the court and got an injunction to stop housing any more illegal immigrants. And then just today, as we're talking today, just a few hours ago, the government won and overturned that ruling that they should be allowed to house immigrants in that hotel. And they actually argued in court that the rights of immigrants trump the rights of the local residents.
Wow. Yo, this is crazy stuff, man. This is crazy. Illegal immigrants have more rights than the local citizens. This is, yeah, it's coming. Oh, yeah, this is coming. This ruling right here, it's coming. They mess up big time, man. This is what happened when you guys select weak leaders. This is what happened. They start making weak decisions. Yeah, at this point, or bets are off. All bets are off at this point. The government said that the illegal immigrants has more right than citizen. Yeah, this is gonna end up bad. Oh, what happened? Come on now.
No option other than to take action into their own hands rather than rely on political leaders who are doing nothing in their eyes.
And overturned that ruling that they should be allowed to house immigrants in that hotel. And they actually argued in court that the rights of immigrants trump the rights of the local residents, which is, people are very, very shocked about. And then everyone's talking about the government against the people. The government, who is the government on the side of? Are they on the side of the people of the country, or the people who come from outside the country to use up our resources and come into these hotels and so on? And it just looks like the government is against the people, against the will of the people, and against the will of the local council in Epping, in that area. And so this has caused a huge sort of fuss. It's been the main headline news for some weeks now through the summer here in the UK. Questions about what we're going to do about these immigrants. people starting to talk about the need to deport large numbers of them and provide proper disincentives for people to come to this country and not house them in hotels, but have centres or residence centres or maybe army barracks or something like that, or do something like that to house them, because it's just become a source of huge tension here in the UK. And nobody wants to live near one of these migrant hotels. Those who do live near them are very upset about them and complaining about them. And the government just appears to be on the side of foreign people coming into the country and giving them the rights they deserve over against the rights of the people who live in the country already.
Talk about left-wing ideologies, man. This is beyond. We were very close. I'm telling you, if the Democrats won the last election in the United States, we were just flying bullets over here, man. People don't understand. Nations cannot keep holding stuff like this, man. You're changing the nature of the nation by force. You think the locals are gonna simply take it? At some point, this bubble was close to blow up, and at this point, it seems like we might see the first Western Civil War.
Well, that's what it seems like from the outside. Obviously, we're here in the United States, but it almost seems like and maybe we're missing something, but it almost seems like the government is choosing folks that are not British citizens in favor of British citizens. And the question is, why? Are they just inept, or is there something more sinister happening? But to your point about phones being stolen, I heard that report and I thought, that's kind of interesting. But if you go online, there are just video after video after video of these gangs of people on electric scooters just snatching up people's phones in London. I'm like, wow, this really crazy, is happening. And obviously you have these protests where people are, waving St. George's Cross. Elon Musk tweeted a photo of it. What do you see happening? I mean, it seems like we're marching towards the word that's being thrown around is civil war, and obviously British folks, I know plenty of them, are not alarmist. They're not, trying to be incendiary, but it does seem like something has to give here.
Well, I think that this government has sort of, brought itself onto a crisis around this. I think they didn't realize how serious this issue is and how strongly people feel about it.
Because it makes sense. A lot of these people are elitists. They're not understanding the common man. So they simply, it's simple for them to just simply say, these are just right-wing nut jobs. We should not even listen to these guys. They're just crazy right-wing nut jobs. And here you have just community being run over by these illegal immigrants.
I think they've been forced to take this legal case because they've got nowhere else to house these migrants, and they feel like they have to do something for them. But I think there's a lot of pressure, and you've obviously got this new political party, Reform, headed by Nigel Farage, which is proposing to deport hundreds of thousands over years of these migrants.
You have to do re-immigration, not deport only, re-immigration, even people that are legal. I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm sorry, you have to. I'm in the belief that the local community, you can only accept 5% of foreigners based on the statistic of the population. That means that there has to be 95% of British to accept the 5% of foreigners. If you don't have the percentage, it's going to get out of control. That's what happened here in the United States.
And you've got Labour MPs feeling vulnerable because they might lose their seats over it. It's become the biggest top political issue. It's become the biggest political issue in this country. And we will see how the government reacts. The government has promised to empty these hotels by 2029, but they've got to find alternative accommodation, and they're arriving.
It's too late. That's way too late. That's literally too late. By that point, they can change their mind.
More arriving every day.
Yeah,
there's got to be a more robust solution to this that A, stops them coming in, disincentivizes them coming in, deports them if necessary, which would be another disincentive, to stop them coming in from France and stop them, the government from having to find this accommodation for them all the time. And the government, I don't think, is quite ready to take the action that's deserved. You've got other more liberal, more left-wing MPs in the Labour Party who are like, we should just welcome all these people and so on. And that there's a real tension within that party about this. But this government is the least popular government for a long, long time in this country now. Its popularity ratings are very, very low. but it only got elected last year, and we still got 4 more years of this as things stand. So let's see how things play out. It's a very, very hot political issue. There are protests all the time around it, and counter-protests as well, and lots of allegations of two-tier policing and the government being against the people. So it's going to carry on for some time, this, I think.
You know what's crazy about this? The UK government is very, very vulnerable. They carry no guns. Does that mean if there was? I'm not saying I'm not YouTube. I'm not saying this could happen. But if the case that happened, if the civil unrest start getting guns, guys, guns, UK government, you're gonna be thrown out in a week. You'll be thrown out in a week. Your force doesn't have guns. So that first line of force, which is the police, is gone. Local councilmen, I don't know how you guys work on this. The mayors, all that stuff, gone, guys, gone. That's a coup. All these politicians are gone in a second. Now you go and understand why Americans, even our police force, from top to bottom, we have different lines of defenses. Because stuff like this can happen, guys. It happened multiple times. We have World War I, World War II. In the United States, we have a civil war. We have the war of 1812. We have the 1776. These things happen, guys. We have a war right now in Ukraine. For people to understand that these things don't happen are naive. Raise your flag. Do not stop. Save the UK. Raise up UK. This is police officers who arrest those who protest for the union and fly the flag should be regarded as traitors. Damn. They should be concerned for the future when the country blows up. Top. Indeed, they should be. Man, I've been watching a lot of videos of the UK, man, and I'm like, man, when these people are really gonna want us? When are they gonna do something? Here we are. Hotels built for tourism, not for terrorists. When the police you pay don't defend you, and they arrest you on top of that, something's wrong. This is war. Oh, absolutely, something has to be done about this. Disgusting. Damn, they exploded. Yeah, that's too late. Yeah, they're too late. Let me know what you guys think, guys. I will see you in the next one.